Hey guys, wanted to bring you another YouTube video. So just wanted to talk about Josh Harris. He is the owner of right here. You can see on Google if you are not aware. He is the managing partner of the New Jersey Devils, the Philadelphia 76ers, and also now Washington Commanders. So he made three big trades today. First it was late night, October 30th. First trade was with the 76ers. He traded James Harden away to the Clippers. You can see here on the screen James Harden, PJ Tucker, flip, and then 2027 least favorable first round swap with Oklahoma City or Denver if it's 630. And then Philly's going to get Covington, Batum, Morris, Kenyon Martin Jr., a first round pick. So it's kind of pretty much a swap. Unprotected first round pick on the 2028, which that's 5 years from now. You would think they're not going to be as good. It could be a lottery pick then. Second round pick from either Indiana, Toronto, Cleveland, or Utah. Second round pick from the Clippers, and then a 2029 first round swap with the Clippers. So it's going to be very interesting in that sense to see how this team's going to be rebuilt. Daryl Morey, obviously, I think got to move on from a player that does not want to be there. I think kind of shows why NBA players have more control or power. I think that's something they need to change in their bargaining agreement because obviously James Harden, this is the fourth time he's been able to get to another team that he wanted to go to. First, he left Houston and then went to Brooklyn and then complained about it, went to 76ers, and now he got his way, gets to go to the Clippers. So, do I think it's going to be great for the Clippers? No, I feel like it's going to be something we've already seen. Um, it might be great at first, but once you figure it out, you're not going to have that big four of James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell playing together. I don't know if Russell's going to be happy about it. I mean, they're friends, supposedly. Um, but it didn't work out with the Rockets. So I don't see why Russell would want to have Harden there again because it didn't work out there. Sure, it was a lesser role, but I don't see them doing very well in the playoffs and anything like that. Um, For Daryl Morey, I think it was a great trade for him, honestly. James Harden's been declining. It's Tyrese Maxey's been playing very well. So I think that's one reason why they're like, you know what, let's just get rid of him. Let's move on. Let's move forward. That's what the owner is obviously saying. He was part of the ownership to tank. So kind of rebuild if needed. So getting Covington, Batum, Morris, and Kenyon Martin's going to help the rotation, I think, and then helps the future. So to be able to get that much assets for the future, I don't know how he gets away with it. That's one thing I loved about Daryl Morey when he was with the Rockets. I don't know how he gets these trades, but he pulls them off. So moving forward, today was the trade deadline for Josh Harris and his first year being a Commanders owner. And let's take a look. As a Niners fan, I was happy that the Washington Commanders was willing to trade Chase Young. But first, the first trade in the domino was, let's see, down here, Montez Sweat. The Commanders trade Montez Sweat to the Bears, which I don't know why the Bears would do it. They're like buyers when they should be sellers at this trade deadline. And for them to trade a second round pick doesn't make sense. Or to get, but I mean, I could see why Washington would, because if Sweat is not going to stick around, they're going to rebuild and they need draft picks, try to get as much draft capital at that point to rebuild. Then I thought they would have tried keeping Chase Young. I know he's also on contract year. Obviously, sometimes you're suspicious if why would a team not want to keep a player that could be very young, and only thing I could think of is he is injury prone. Um, he is having a great year, but it's his contract year. So that's a little concerning. So as a Niners fan, I don't know if we're going to keep him long term, but it's not a big risk for the Niners. I think they're only on the hook for $500,000 for the rest of the season. So that's very cheap, to be honest. And then you only gave up a third round compensatory pick, which if Chase Young leaves, you're going to get one back. So it's a win-win situation. It's low risk there. You know the player's going to be motivated. You're hoping that the Niners' defensive line is going to help solve the problem for their defense because obviously cornerbacks, we couldn't get a cornerback. I think that's why the Bills ended up trying to get because they were in the market to get a cornerback, so were the Niners, and so Marshall Douglas was the earliest or cornerback that I saw in this list that was traded, as you could tell. And you can see that list also for the Niners. They went also pretty much got two players during the trade deadline, Randy Gregory and Chase Young. So they definitely believe that if they could get and win the defensive line, which is true because that's how the Eagles really did well, um, then if you put pressure on the quarterback, you're not going to have to rely as much pressure or with the cornerbacks because they're subpar at best. So hopefully it works out for the Niners and get back in their winning ways because their next part of the schedule is going to be really tough. I was watching the Lions schedule; it's pretty easy. So I would be surprised if the Niners does not finish worse than the Lions at this point. Looking at the schedule, the Lions only have, I think, one opponent that has a winning record at this point, and you saw that they made a trade for Donovan Peoples Jones, and just giving up a six round. It's not bad. So let me know what you think. Um, obviously, Josh Harris right here had a busy day, believing they're going to do the same thing what they did with the 76ers. They're going to punt this season for the Washington Commanders, and they're going to get back to building it from the bottom up. And see, like I said, I thought they would have probably tried kept that defensive line, but if you know they're going to probably walk or can't afford them, and it's not working already, especially giving up that many points, they've probably figured they're going to have a new regime at the end of the season, and then go ahead and clean house that way, get rid of the players that they don't think that's going to be part of the new regime and new coaching staff. So let me know what you think if you're a Washington Commanders fan, um, Niners fan, and 76ers fan, or Clippers of all the trades that went down from one owner. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and together we could build a better tomorrow. Thanks again.